So Together at Last, Alexis, how did you come up with the title for this track?
Do you know what? It's really interesting with titles for albums or EPs or singles. Sometimes the titles come first, other times it might be the music, but I think with this particular track, it was a combination of the two. And I actually think, in keeping with the album itself, it was a family effort. I think my wife might have come up with the name Together. She always comes up with Together. It's like, it comes back time and time again. I even think for one of the tracks before that, she came up with that particular, I think she just loves that feeling of family togetherness and warmth at Christmas time. Last might have been my son or my daughter, possibly a combination of the two. And so it was a family effort, very much so, except they got no royalties whatsoever, which is a win-win as far as I'm concerned.
I see. So the collaboration on the title of the track, I heard you also wrote this track with your son, Jobim. How did that collaboration come about?
Now, that collaboration was very interesting because my son, my son and my daughter are very, very musical. My son particularly so. So often I hear him singing in the back of the car. In fact, he was singing a particularly memorable tune in the back of the car. I think it might have even been this, but with him it might have been, he's very, very florid in terms of he never uses sort of one note when 50,000 will do. So it was that kind of beautiful cascade of notes, but within it, I heard this kind of simplicity of melody, and I hung on to it, and I said, look, Joe, that's really fantastic. Can I hang on to that, and maybe can we do something together? So he said, well, look, Dad, that's fine. And I thought, you know, this is going to be a really beautiful moment here with my son. Finally, we've got this thing that we can work together on. It was fishing before that, I think. That it didn't end particularly well. And then I thought songwriting's going to be it. And he said, Dad, there's just one thing. And I thought, you know, it's just going to be a really beautiful moment. He said, I'm going to need 70%. And then it suddenly just dawned on me that he was incredibly astute, very, very good businessman, my son. And so I think I got him down maybe to about 50 or something like that, something a little bit more, you know, reasonable. And we worked together from then, and it was really his melodies and some of my melodies. I don't know, am I in there at all? I'm not completely sure. But in any case, it was a 50-50 venture, and it was just such a joy to write this particular track with him. And of course, it became the title track of the EP, Together at Last. Really, really proud of that. And I think he is too, quietly.
Nice. And how was it collaborating with your son?
It was brilliant because he's such an intuitive musician. And he just has, you know, he has so many fantastic melodies on his phone, on his computer. And you know what, I'll let you into a little secret. For every single album I write, I say to him, right, Joe, what have you got? And he'll bring it down and he'll play some things. I'll say, maybe, maybe not. Because it's just, everything he does is just so beautiful, so beautifully crafted. And it was a real pleasure. So collaborating with him musically was an absolute delight.
Nice. Are you able to pick out the bits that Jobim wrote and the bits that you wrote, or is it more of a mashup?
On the Together at Last, I definitely think that Jobim wrote that. That really beautiful section. And I think I did. Just the kind of chorus section, just to weave it all together. But honestly, it was a real collaborative effort. I wouldn't say, I don't even know if that's entirely accurate, but I know that I really lent rather on his creativity for that particular song.
Nice. And Together at Last is also the title of the EP, as you mentioned. Was there a particular reason for this?
Yeah, just because it was, you know, we love Christmas. We just absolutely adore Christmas in our house. It's such a, well, of course it is for everybody. And, you know, wintry walks, watching Christmas movies, wrapping presents, opening presents, you know, singing songs, my daughter dancing, my son playing his guitar. And it's just, for us, it's just a time to be together and to come together as a family. So it just felt like a really good way to evoke that feeling and represent that in song. So Together at Last felt very natural for this particular EP.
Nice. And do you have any other thoughts or reflections about the track?
Only that it was just such a joy, and to come away with a track that seems to have resonated with so many people as well is obviously we're very proud of, and I think we can't wait to do it again at some point. I'm sure we will.